Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. I have decided, I don't know how to gossip, okay? Trust me, I'm not a gossip girl, but at this point, I'm going to start gossiping because I always gossip with my best friend. We are always sending ourselves memes and all the stuff. I'm like, hey, why don't I share it with you? So, every day I wake up in the morning, I think everybody does it now in this 2024, whereby when you wake up in the morning, you have your phone next to you, and the first thing you wake up, open your eyes, you're on your phone. Scrolling. So I like to do that in the morning. So I like to wake up 1 hour early because sometimes you could sit on that telephone and you would forget that you have to do something. But anyway, the things that I love to read the most that makes me laugh is relationship. Those relationship things on the internet whereby a husband broke up with a wife and they're writing stories. This was the most interesting one I have ever read. I was busted. First of all, it was a mix of emotions, a mix of laughter. I don't know. It was anyway, if you want to know, I am going to read it for you. But it's insane how relationships work now in 2024. Men are so entitled. So in African cultures, I think they even encourage men to cheat. That's how I feel like. They encourage our men to cheat. Because you're teaching your girls when you grow up, you're going to get a husband. You have to respect your husband. But remember, your husband can decide to bring a second wife. And you have to be okay with it. Guys, please tell me, isn't that cheating? Teaching men it's okay. Teaching young boys, it's okay. When you grow up and you get a wife, you can decide to even get a second, third, fourth wife as long as you can take care of them. That's literally cheating. Before this, I'm going to tell you how I grew up. My grandfather had 2 wives, I'm sure, because I have step uncles. So my grandfather actually had 2 wives, and it's common. One of my uncles has also 2 wives. One of my cousins also has 2 wives, and those 2 wives live in the same compound. Last time I was talking to him, I asked him, I said, how is it possible that you have 2 wives in the same compound? You know what he told me? He's like, my dear, we just survive every day. It's survival. There's fights, but we have to handle it. I'm like, dude, why are you putting yourself in this situation? It's 2 wives. One has a grass hut here, and the other one has a grass hut here. And they're in the same compound. Of course, they bicker, they fight, they have to see each other all the time. I'm like, why? Why do you have to do that? For what? You have to go through headache. I'm telling you. And these men, they go through so much headache because of their wives fighting and stuff. But in the African culture, it's okay. It's just the young wife has to respect the first wife, So in some cultures, in some instances, it's how should I say? It's when a man wants to get a second wife. What I know about my culture, if a man marries a wife and the first wife doesn't have children and can't have children, even sometimes the first wife will suggest, my husband, get a second wife. I am going to find a second wife for you. So normally, even it's the first wife that finds the husband a second wife, a girl that she can control, a girl that she can take care of, a girl. In this 2024, can you imagine having a woman, okay? Having another woman, bringing another woman in your husband's bed. You're having children. And you. Our mothers. But as I talk right now, it's still going on. I think if I hadn't moved to Europe and I wasn't so exposed, I would still be okay with it because I would think it's okay. But at this age and time of mine that I have experienced, I don't think that it's okay at all. I don't think it's okay. But of course, if it works for some people, it is fine, I bet we are so many women in the world compared to men, so we all gotta share. Not Karina, I'm not sharing. But anyway, going back to the story. all that being said, I'm still telling you this because of the article that I read. So I just want to bring you in the line of what is, like I said, this one was very shocking. It was a mix of emotions, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's also the entitlement and the thought. Me being here now, I think if I was still in Uganda and I had a husband and they decided that they are going to bring a second wife, or they decided that they are going to cheat, I don't think I would have even thought about it, because they say that if a man brings you in the house and they have already brought you in their house, why do you have to worry about what he does outside? The ones outside are mistresses. He's not showing them around. You see how stereotyping, it's insane for women that we have to accept everything that a man does is right, but we are not supposed to do that. If we try to do the same thing, no, the world will all come crumbling. Like, no, you're not allowed, it's taboo and stuff. But for a man, it's okay to go out and cheat, to bring a second wife, to bring a third wife. There is something I used to say, I still say it up to now, that if you're born a woman in an African home, you're born a slave for the rest of your life. Every time I say that, people are always like, what do you mean? So in my world, it's like, when I was growing up, I was told what to do. Hey, don't go there, don't do this, don't do that. And then I grow up as an adult. I meet a man, a husband. I get married and I'm like, yay, I'm going to have my freedom now. I'm leaving my father's house or my uncle's house, because now in my culture, even though your father is not around, your uncles are still there. If your uncles are not there, the whole clan is on you. At least you will have a male that will put you in your place. So when you get married, you're like, yay, now I can go make my own decisions. Now I can do what I want. No. The husband replaces your father and uncles and brothers. You're not allowed. They'll tell you what to do, when to go to the market, everything. You have to sit home, you have to do this. And then you sit there and say, oh, as an African girl child, when am I going to really have that peace and say, let me decide for myself? That's why right now men have so much problems getting women, because now women are like, nah, I also want to make my own decisions. Like, hey, why do you want to make the decisions for me? Like, why? Let me also make my own decisions. And then that becomes like a huge problem. You get what I mean? Like, it becomes such a big issue that it breaks marriages. So anyway, the only time that an African woman gets freedom to make decisions for themselves as an African child is when you're older now. Maybe you're 70, 80, you're a widow now, and then you become the grandmother of the home. Then you're a veteran. That's when you decide to make decisions. Guys, can you imagine growing up and waiting until you're 70 to have freedom? What kind of freedom is that? Anyway, let's leave that aside. I was still saying about this article. When I read it, I was like, I don't know if I wanted to be happy for the woman, or to say, God, what did you do? Like, there's some things that you are not supposed to do. Like, give it a break. Like, no, that was wrong. African relationships are insane. Like, they say that African women are so submissive and they are really like traditional. Yes, we are traditional, actually, because of how we were raised. But at the same time, women are growing up, opening their minds and saying, damn, do I really deserve this? Like, do I really, you know, the first time I turned 30, I sat down and I thought to myself, like, because, even when I go back home to my own village, if my uncles even up to now tell me, don't do that, you're not allowed to do that, I'll find myself so humble. Like, I'll humble myself like, oh, God, okay, I shouldn't do it. But at the same time, I can still be defiant and go and do it anyway. But there's this thing that just grounds you. This is why they say it's so important to raise a child in a right way. Because a kid is like a small computer that you program. Like me, my mind is already programmed. Even though I sit here and say, no, I'm not going to do it or whatever. And once they tell me, I'm like, okay. Okay. And then afterwards, I ask myself, like, but wait a minute, why did I do that? Anyway, I'm just saying, right now, women are realizing, like, we have to work hard for ourselves and try to make decisions for ourselves. Let me tell you, you can still be traditional, but at the same time, I feel like men should cut a slack and just respect us. I actually learned that relationship is all about mature respect and understanding. Relationship is like a partnership. It's like you're having a company with your partner that you have to make decisions to make the company grow and make it work. It's the same thing with a relationship. So if you're having a partner and the other partner has the upper hand and this other partner is staying in the background, it doesn't work out. So I think that at this point, men should realize and say, what? If I meet a woman, let's work as partners instead of trying to be too dominant. Being dominant is still okay. You're still the man. You're still gonna make decisions. But hey, let's sit down and discuss it and meet in the middle. You get what I mean? That being said, I need to read to you this thing. You will be shocked. But like I said, I feel like in this 2024, we should not do relationship. We should do partnerships. Like we are in a company together and we are trying to make something grow. I think that would be the best way to have a relationship. Because if you come in a relationship and the other one is like, oh, what I say goes, like, wait a minute. Especially for women, women who already have their money and they're making their money and they're like, wait a minute, I make my money. Hey, if I leave you, I will not lose anything. I'm going to survive. So if you have women who have an attitude like that, because now women are having jobs, they're being independent, okay? So once a woman knows that, that they can go out there and take care of themselves, it doesn't work out. Let's go into the what? The story. So when I found this on Facebook, it was shocking. It reads, I cheated on my husband. He caught me and I begged for his forgiveness. Okay, which was nice. She begged. He forgave me. Good. That was a good man. At least you forgave, but I don't think that he forgot. But he started planning divorce. This is the same man I have forgiven several times for cheating. You see how that one? The guy forgave her and said, you know what? We are getting a divorce. But remember, he had been cheating several times. I think the woman was like, I'm also going to go and start cheating. So if you're cheating, let me also cheat. I say it's a business partnership kind of thing, right? So it says here, but just this once, he want to embarrass me by ending the marriage. Now you see how entitled the woman is? She's like, okay, you cheated. I am going to cheat. And I forgave you and we still stayed in the marriage. So if I cheat, that means you also have to forgive me and we stay in the marriage. This is the problem in 2024. So it's like, who is at fault here? He cheated, she forgave him and still continued with the marriage. But he found out she cheated. He forgave her, but said, you know what? I'm having a divorce. And she's like, oh, wait a minute. I forgave you and we continued. Why don't we do the same? Anyway, let's continue reading the story. I did all I could, but he didn't back down from the plan. Wait, what? He didn't. Was it a plan? You see, now she's calling it a plan. I told you this marriage thing is like a business partnership. He refused to back down on the plan. The only option was to let him go. Okay, girl, you made a good decision. You're letting him go. You move on with your life. Anything good, but... Oh, it continues. I'd rather be a widow than allow him humiliate me. Wait, what? So she's letting him go, but she'd rather be a widow than letting him humiliate her. Jesus Christ. You see where it goes to? She's like, okay, you're not forgiving me. You're forgiving me and you're getting a divorce. Hell nah. Then you lose, I win. I am just going to... And I remain a widow. Now wait. Since we lost him, I have been mourning and getting all the respect I deserve as a wife. Whoa. 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 Guys, what do you say about, okay, was the woman right? Because now, like I said, it's a mix of emotions. Like, which side should you stay in? Did she do the right thing to unalive the guy? Or she did the wrong thing? Like, she should have just left and moved on with her life. But at the same time, I feel like, okay, she was maybe cheating for revenge, and she thought that, okay, my man is going to forgive me, and we are going to continue, and maybe we are both going to stop cheating on each other, and then life goes on. But at the same time, if he wanted a divorce, maybe she should have let him go. But maybe she had invested so much. Maybe this was just a trial. Like, let's see how he reacts. Like, if I cheat, we will all stop cheating, and then he will give me that respect I deserve or something like that. But deciding to unalive him, that was taking it too far. Like she said, now everybody's respecting her, and she's being a respectable widow and things like that. I bet it worked out for her. But I am saying, guys, what do you think of these relationship things? And please, if you want me to talk more about these stories and stuff, this is my first story that I have made. If you want me to talk about this and talk about stories like this, please comment down below. Let me know if you've enjoyed the video, or I shouldn't do it or something. Thank you so much for being here, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Show me love, and hopefully, hopefully we are all going to enjoy this channel. Please. Your comment and opinion is going to be amazing for me. Amazing. It doesn't matter if it's negative, positive. Please comment. Let me know what I should add on. Let me know what I did wrong. And it's just a platform to learn. Because if you don't tell me, I don't think that I am going to grow. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.